All right, guys, this is Norval Central coming back at you with another YouTube video. I'm trying to get back on my daily grind with YouTube as we go through all this process together. But I kind of want to discuss Florida State's recruiting class so far in the 24 cycle here. I think Florida State is doing a really good job getting a lot of those top prospects to visit on campus and getting them to commit, as we've seen. Getting a top 10 class, I think, is very important for this class going forward here. And Charles Lester, a five-star cornerback from Sarasota, Florida, is the guy that Florida State's really, really after. He's already got three crystal ball predictions to Florida State's visited Florida State many, many times at this point. And he actually talked about his recruitment process and saying there was four teams basically in his top four that he was going to be focusing on the rest of the recruiting cycle. That was Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, and also Florida State at this point. He does have an official visit coming up with Ohio State on June the 16th. I think that's very important to kind of understand that going forward there. But Florida State sits in the driver's seat, and he actually talked about this with On Three with Joseph Hastings. The quote was, "I would say Florida State is the leader right now in this process for me. If I had to choose today, I would go there." That is a huge development as we go through the recruiting process with everything going on because Charles Lester is their number one target on the board, hands down, may even be their top prospect on their overall board, offense and defense as it stands right now. Because when you got a guy like Luke Kermenhawk and you got Cam Davis, you got those talented guys that are in the process of committing to the program in December at this point. I think it's very important to understand that Florida State needs Charles Lester in this class to be able to kind of solidify a vision that this program has going forward in the future. I think this is an absolute lockdown corner, can even potentially play at wide receiver as well. I mean, he could be that two-star athlete, but I do know good things are going to be coming, especially on the defensive backfield, especially with Pat Surtain being the new defense backs coach and getting everything settled there. I think Florida State's doing a really good job of recruiting as it is right now. And I think that Charles Lester would be a phenomenal piece to add as we go forward there. But let me know in the comments what you think about Charles Lester. Do you think he's going to be pretty much a null by the time signing day comes around in December? When do you think he'll decide? Do you think he's going to decide a little bit sooner, or do you think it's going to be a little bit later in the process and let him fill out some visits, maybe do some in-season visits as well? Kind of let me know your thoughts there. But I really appreciate all the love and support as always. Be sure to follow my social media accounts at the bottom of the ticker as well. And I hope you each and all have a great rest of the day and go Knowles.